Sitting in, yes.
Yes.
You're doing a brilliant job. You're doing a
Okay,
good
sitting
job.
in. It's becoming a bit of a hobby, eh?
It might become a permanent job
For
soon.
sitting in for people, yeah. Okay, never mind. Good to be here. Please stay with us. We've got a very, very interesting guest this evening, and inshallah, you will feel empowered and inspired.
Inshallah, they will. Today we got a fantastic guest. Our guest today is Caroline Surtees. Caroline is passionate about first-class childcare and the fact that every child has a right to be loved and to feel that they belong. Orphaned at age 6, Caroline deeply understands what children need and what is important to them, and she has set out to make it her mission to improve the quality and delivery of childcare that is delivered across Australia. Not only does Caroline own her own childcare centre, she also lectures, trains and is an assessor in the industry and is responsible for revitalising the passion for many other childcare and professions. Hi there, Caroline. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Saib. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for your interest and for inviting me over.
I hope you're well. And as you said earlier on, is it 2 a.m. in where you are now?
Yes, it is.
As I said before, that's what you call dedication to your job. Thank you again for joining us on there. Caroline, can we tell a bit about yourself, your journey to owning childcare?
Interesting. Business. Sure. Well, it didn't start as a childcare business, but it's something started where I was an educator working in the industry of childcare, and through there I gained some experience, and I had some obstacles that I had to face and things that I did not sort of approve, in my opinion, in terms of delivering to childhood. But what was quite comforting to that is that one day I could be the one to make that difference and change how we deliver the service.
Also, regarding Jen, you've moved from Zambia to Australia. How was that move from Zambia to Australia? Because it's different, a different country, a different culture, a different mindset. How easy was it to adapt?
Wow. This it was really a big challenge. However, you always take a challenge and challenge yourself and see that if other people can do it, you can as well do it. It was not an easy process, but you pursue through if you are determined and passionate about what you want to do. Yes.
Brilliant. When regarding your business, was this childcare your first business, or is it something that you started with another business where you did a startup and then moved on to childcare because you saw there's a niche in there?
Well, before I actually came to Australia, I used to be in a totally different business industry back home in Zambia. And I was in the beauty and hair salon, and I would provide beauty and products to the people. I would manufacture my own jewelries and stuff, and it was totally different. But when I came to, this is talk about challenges, when I came to Australia, and for me to actually start thinking about, when my husband said to me, well, stay in the industry and then you'll be able to open your own childcare one day, I just looked at that, seemed to be so impossible because the regulations and law and everything is so different compared to home, and settling into a new country and such a business of your own was something that I thought I would never achieve.
What is it that you missed about Zambia when you moved from Zambia to Australia?
Oh wow, I definitely missed my family. I missed my culture. I missed my friends. I missed the food. I missed the environment to be in the comfort zone where I was actually raised and familiar with. However, moving to Australia was one of the things that made me become who I've become today, because it has added value to my life, and I've looked at it as something that is more valuable, and I should be grateful for it because I've got more opportunities than other friends that are mine or my family members that are back home. So therefore, I've embraced the move. I've appreciated and made good of it.
Also, as you just mentioned before, your comfort zone. Getting out of your comfort zone. Did you find things about yourself which you thought you could not do?
Oh, many things. Many things. If you're asking me about that, I'll tell you that I never thought I would stand in front of students and lecture, because when I was back home, I was actually told that I can become a teacher, and I said, no way, I can't. They said, no, you could actually good with that. I said, no, I can't be a teacher. I just never saw the strength that I would stand in front of people and lecture. And that came with a passion. And once you've discovered your strength or your passion, you discover the strength that you thought you never had, because everything falls into place. So we need to discover ourselves before we actually go forward. And discovering yourself is just tapping into your inner comfort zone and release that away from you, and knowing and saying to yourself, if the other person can do it, I can also do it as well.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant to hear that. Also, you had your first child without your family. How difficult was that?
Oh, that was another challenge, because knowing back home is that you're surrounded by your family and you have your aunties or moms comes around. But I never had that opportunity, and that was my first child, and I was in a different country. And to not only that, it was a different country, but it was a different culture, absolutely different to mine. And every step came with the challenge that I had to overcome. And by overcoming that challenge was me growing. So I have found that when you're actually facing challenges, do not step back, do not give up. That makes us who we will be, and taking us to the step or the level where we were meant to be. Because the moment we step back is when we actually miss our opportunities. So we need to push ourselves forward. I always consider a challenge is a potential to success. So take that as something to challenge yourself and improve yourself and become better.
Fantastic advice there. Regarding the nursery on there, when you started your nursery, what were the biggest hurdles that you had to overcome? Finding the premises, finding the right staff, having the capital to start the nursery?
Yes, well, looking, there were lots of obstacles and there was lots of challenges. Again, it comes to discovering yourself and your inner passion and what you want to deliver, what you want to give. It came with the fact that when I was running a family daycare, so it didn't start me coming straight to open a long daycare, nursery school, or anything like that. It came for me from operating from home. After I worked from home, and when I worked from home, I had to build that up, and that also was a stage for me to grow, because I had to go through the process of regulations and laws and quality standards that I had to comply with and make sure that all those things, but on a smaller scale. So that was a stepping stone for me. And I felt like that was me starting to grow, to unfold to the person that I've become today. And when the time came for me to look for a bigger place, or now time to open and provide a bigger service to the community, it wasn't that easy. We had to go through a process of finding a premises that complied with the regulations of Department of Education, at the same time, Education and Care Regulatory, and at the same time, complied with the laws and regulations of the local shires in terms of car park and everything. So it took us almost 2 years, but I never gave up. And I had a supportive husband on my side. Sometimes when he felt like he wants to give up, I reminded him what he actually said to me 8 years or 9 years ago. So we pursued that together, and we, rain or shine, we got to there to go and see the premises, and we were rejected. There was where you actually you bid, and then they pick up someone who's already in the industry, And also sometimes you apply the application and they'll come to you and say, sorry, you haven't got enough car park for that. You need to do this expansion. But that did not stop me. I kept on going.
Good. Oh, that's fantastic. Because as I said, I think people give up too easily. If there's there's a few hurdles in there, they say this is hard work. Let's just move on to something else. But when they move to something else, the same hurdles are still there.
Absolutely. And that's when there is nothing that comes easily. That's what we should realize. Nothing is achieved that is good easily. So we need to ensure that when things, I've always believed that whenever there is challenges and the obstacles, there's something greater. It's you to pursue and go beyond, to cross that path or to cross over that river in order for you to find a green pasture. So if you decide to divert and not to cross over, then you divert into another, but you still find that a river to cross over. And then you're going to divert. How many times will you keep on diverting? In the end, we're keeping on missing our opportunities. We're missing on giving what we were called to do. So we need to pursue and go through the obstacles and challenge ourselves. There is nothing more satisfying than knowing that you've achieved it. It was hard, but you have achieved it. It's self-satisfaction. It's better than anything else.
No, that's spot on. That's brilliant. Also, the listeners, if they would like to text or WhatsApp us, they can do that on 07745 278 978, or if you would like to ring us on the studio telephone, the number is 01733 602 133. I can see answer there.
I am still here. Hi, Caroline. It really has been wonderful listening to you. I feel greatly inspired. It really is great. And the last comment that you made in response to a question that Hasib asked, that in terms of, some of the challenges, the difficulties, the obstacles, you have to be persistent and you have to basically believe in yourself. And that is a tremendous trait that tells the character of an individual.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks, Answer. Because, if we give up in so many things, I just feel that we are actually not challenging ourselves. For us to be better and grow, we have to challenge ourselves. There is nothing that is there that we can't do. If another person went through it, you can as well do it. We just have that fear or that mindset of wanting to have it, thinking that it's going to be easy, and immediately there's an obstacle, you think, oh no, it's not meant to be. No, pursue, because there's nothing that's greater that comes easily.
Yeah, and you have to keep making that effort. And when I look at what you've said, that you left the comfort of Zambia, your family behind, you went to Australia, and that's where you found success in the business that you've set up. Basically, there are a lot of similarities to a lot of people listening in the city of Peterborough, this wonderful city in the UK and England, and a lot of people have migrated and made this city their home. And I feel that from what you've been able to share with us so far, and inshallah you will share with us for the rest of the program, hopefully it'll inspire many people, because many people, I come across many people who are well qualified, can do much better than probably they're doing at the moment, but they just feel that they're lacking that confidence. Basically, what does a person need? Is it looking at someone who can inspire them, a role model, someone who's done well, going to some classes, reading books, etc.? How can one who is lacking inspiration can get that inspiration?
That's a very good question. And so the thing about it is that we have to always look at our environment, the people that we've got around, and we should always look at inspiration, like you said, people that would inspire us. And if we can actually keep in connection of those people that can inspire you, the one that you look and follow them through. And some of the people that I actually I've met in my life have become my mentor. If I tell you actually that when I had my family daycare, the people that were coordinating me during the time that I had a family daycare, those people that I looked up to, today they said to me, I'm an inspiration to them, and they're looking up to me now.
Good.
So the things do flee, but I never actually thought myself that I would be seen in that way, and they would learn something from me, and they were my mentor. This is what I want to say. You need to have a mentor. You need somebody to go to when find people in your field of what you like to, so that when you're feeling that you are feeling stuck in terms of that your dream or the industry where you are or what you're trying to pursue, is going to someone who can support you. That support, just that talk and encouragement and giving you an idea where you are and where it's what your thoughts are. Your mentor is meant to actually improve and make sure that you feel comfortable and with what you're doing. So they give you answers of what you're actually feeling uncertain, but they give not really direct answers, but they drive you in a way that you start thinking openly and say, I see where this is what I see. You actually start having an understanding of yourself and where you're going and where you want to be. So it's good to share. It's good to have mentor. And the other thing that really helped me is writing it down.
Yeah.
Write down, get a piece of a book or a diary and start writing down your dreams. And because we have so many good ideas,
Absolutely.
but we miss them when we don't write them down.
Yes, I remember at one time a person very successful said to me at one time that sometimes I had these thoughts, these inspirations, and I think of something and I can't make, and then he said, all of a sudden I decided to have a notepad with me, and I started, whenever, and sometimes he said that I used to get this this thought in my mind in the middle of the night. And I used to have a pad by my bedside, and I just used to make a note of it. And then I used to follow it through. And, exactly what you're saying, basically, that's...
Yes.
And if I can just follow that thread, Caroline, often one comes across individuals who have been successful in business. And as you said, that you had a number of setbacks, the planning permission, the premises weren't right, etc. And most successful people, would tell you that when they first started, they did have setbacks. There was something, either they didn't get enough money together, banks wouldn't loan them as much money that they need to set up a business. And that inspired them even more to work even harder to make it a success.
Absolutely. It's when you looking to start something, and I've always said this, that you need to take risks, and when you take risks, you challenge yourself.
Yes.
When you challenge yourself, you ensure that you actually, and especially when you've actually involved the outsiders, where you've actually got a loan and stuff, like, that you owe someone else. So therefore you work hard in order to pay that. But I've always focused on the results of what I have set as a goal of what I want to give to the community or to deliver, or what my dream has to be. And I feel by going with what my heart or my business thoughts or my planning initially, that builds up the business. So you don't get drift away from the fact of the service you want to deliver and focus on the money, because you lose track of that quality service that you want to deliver, and you focus on other things, money, financials and stuff, and stress. It is actually very easy for you to actually get back, to slide or to get distracted. And that's why when you've written down and you have tapped into your comfort zone, and you also tapped into your strengths and discovering who you are, you will actually be there to say to yourself, the money issue can actually be there, but I will stand strong and follow through, and that is what I'm going to do in order for me to pay that. So you actually you need to believe in yourself. You need to be able to see beyond the today and what you want to. So you need to have a bigger picture.
Yeah.
If I tell you today that I look at certain things as in, like we're talking about not sleeping, sleeping with a notepad at your bedside. Today I wake up at night and I have ideas of how I want to improve the industry, not just my business, but the industry itself. How can we work together? How can we get that community that we were raised in when we were young? Because we're losing that today and people are getting distracted with a lot of work around. So I want to work on that and bring that back, because it takes a community to raise a child. Yeah. And people have gone away from thinking that we should value children in order for us to leave a good legacy. And we're thinking that legacy is leaving money behind and buildings. No, for me, I feel that leaving a legacy is ensuring that we've left something for our children, within our children, not for our children, within our children, in order, and then those things that comes for our children can be utilized properly, because that's how we started ourselves. There was somebody that nurtured us.
And I think you've summed that up in terms of what we're trying to do here on Salaam Radio, trying to encourage, motivate people to be good human beings, to be successful human beings, so that we are useful to society, to humanity, basically. That really should be inspiration enough for all of us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. That's that's what keeps me going. And if I have challenges of finances or obstacles in terms of the things that are changing in the industry and all that stuff, I look at the bigger picture. I look at what I wanted to do. I look beyond that. And that's how I overcome my challenges.
And, sometimes people used to say about looking at either a project or an initiative or a venture and trying to put together some sort of a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Is there still in the current climate any usefulness of that?
Oh, yes. I mean, there is, we have to always look at on opportunities and our strength, as well as the threats and weaknesses. But in order for us to pick up all that, the opportunities and those, what needs to have there is discovering your strength. And the strength only comes when you leave your comfort zone. And good things comes when you leave your comfort zone. You can only do better when you leave your comfort zone. No one has ever gone beyond without ever taking the risk. Today I said to myself, I never thought I would stand in front of students and because I thought that was just so much pressure and I didn't want to. But the feedback that I get from students is absolutely amazing. And I said to myself, I never thought I would be making an impact in someone's life. So we have got a lot of strength and we just covering it up with our comfort zone. Once you cross over, you can make use of yourself. And at the same time, with that use, you can actually make money of that and sustain yourself and your family and build other people as well, and the community.
And through that, I suppose you find immense pleasure, enjoyment as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the people you meet and the people that you change lives, the feedback that you get. I've had times when my students have come to me and said to me, Caroline, we would like to tell you this. This is a story that I had when I was just leaving my previous workplace. And it says, we'd like to tell you this. We met, this is like 40 minutes apart drive, these two places where I used to teach. And they said, we met together and this is what happened. I met this lady at the shopping mall and she was telling us she's studying early childhood education and care. And she said, well, you should come and start at our school because we've got a good lecturer. And she said, no, we're happy with what we've got because we've got a good lecturer. She said, no, you don't know this one. She's actually great. You should come. Then another one says, no, we're happy with what. And after an argument of about 10 to 15 minutes, we discovered we are arguing about you. Well, to me, that is absolutely a great achievement because I never knew.
We're going to take a short break, Caroline. We'll be back with you after a couple of minutes. Stay right where you are because we'll be talking to you very shortly.
No worries. Thank you very much, Yasin.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
Sadly, millions of orphans living in the poorest countries lack the necessary support for a healthy childhood. These children have to endure lives of hardship without the basic necessities that would help them to grow, to learn, to live. Let's show them that we do care. Let's brighten up their future. Call 0161 225 0225 or visit humanappeal.org.uk.
Need a great place to chill out? Look no further than The Lounge for quality food and drinks at a great price. Try our varied menu: pasta, seafood, burgers, grills, salad, soup, rice and sides. Also hot and cold drinks, milkshakes and mocktails. Leave room for our exquisite desserts. The Lounge, 417 Lincoln Road, Peterborough. Call 01733 709 306 to order for delivery. The Lounge, friendly service with a great atmosphere.
Need car parts quickly and at a great price? City Auto Parts offer competitive prices, trade accounts and a delivery service in and around Peterborough. For all your parts and accessories requirements, visit City Auto Parts, 30 Fitzwilliam Street, Peterborough, PE1 2RX. Call us on 01733 347711 or visit www.cityautoparts.co.uk.
Hate crime is a serious matter. Hate crime is a serious matter. It is important to report all incidents to give the best chance of prevention. If you're a victim or witness of any hate crime or incident, you can report it easily online at peterborough.gov.uk/hate crime. It only takes around 10 minutes and there's no waiting in line. You can choose whether to give your name or a further statement to the police. Please report any incident of hate, whether a victim or witness. As always, for emergencies, please dial 999. For non-emergency, please dial 101. Hate crime. Together, we can stop it.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful.
هو الذي جعل الشمس ضياء والقمر نورا وقدره منازل لتعلموا عدد السنين والحساب ما خلق الله ذلك إلا بالحق يفصل الآيات لقوم يعلمون إن في اختلاف الليل والنهار وما خلق الله في السماوات والأرض لآيات لقوم يتقون.
It is He who made the sun to be a shining glory and the moon to be a light of beauty, and measured out stages for it, that you might know the number of years and the count of time. Allah did not create this except in truth and righteousness. He explains His signs in detail for those who understand. Indeed, in the alternation of the night and the day, and in all that Allah has created in the heavens and the earth, are signs for those who fear Him.
Peterborough's community radio station, Salaam Radio, 106.2 FM.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the second hour of the Empower Hour with me, Ansar Ali. I'm sitting in for Shaz Nawaz and of course
Mohammed Asib. Today we got a wonderful guest named of Caroline Surtees. Caroline is passionate about first-class childcare and the fact that every child has a right to be loved and feel that they belong. Orphaned at age 6, Caroline deeply understands what children need and what is important to them, and she has set out to make a mission to improve the quality and delivery of childcare that is delivered across Australia. Not only does Caroline own her own childcare centre, she also lectures, trains and is an assessor in the industry and is responsible for revitalising the passion of many other childcare professions. Also, if the listener would like to call in, text or WhatsApp us on 077 45 278 978, or they could ring the studio on 01733 602 133. Welcome back, Caroline. You still there?
Yes, I am. So thank you very much.
Early hours of the morning, eh? Just about 2:30 in Australia at the moment.
Absolutely. Yes,
Thank you very much for staying up and being there early in the morning. For Salaam Radio, we really do appreciate your contribution here on the program.
It's absolutely a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Okay, so far we've heard, a considerable amount, and I've really been fascinated about your journey. Really is, leaving Zambia, the comfort of the country where you were born, your family, your friends, then going to Australia and making a success of a business. And you're telling us that, you felt inspired, motivated, and you found this challenge that inspired you. Sometimes when people move into a new country, they find it daunting, they find it difficult, they think that, oh dear, we're not going to be able to make a success of this, we're going to end up with a job that isn't quite up to what our education should be enabling us to do, so we just don't feel inspired. Many people who migrate from one country to the other feel that they are going to be at the bottom of the pile, but you are a shining example, What would you say to people listening to Salaam Radio at the moment? If they feel a bit down, they have come to Peterborough, this wonderful city from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, or any other part of the world, Eastern Europe, etc., and they're listening to Salaam Radio. What can you say to them in a couple of moments to lift them, to give them that buzz, to inspire them?
Thank you, Zib. One thing that I have to look at and what has actually helped me, and I would like to pass this on to the people listening and help if it may help as well, is to set the goals. When you write things down of where you want to go and what you want to achieve and how you're going to achieve that and when you want to achieve that, that helps you. It's like a broad map to your success. Follow through and also put a contagious plan. So you all know that there will be something that's going to come and distract me, but how do I stay on track? How do I I've come all the way and I need support. I need my to get where I want to be. Other thing to do is networking. I don't know if you have networking groups in Petersburg, but we do have some business networking groups where we actually network and connect with the people of similar minds. When we find people that are in the way or direction where we want to be, not exactly the same industry, but they've come from somewhere and they've lifted themselves up. It's motivating, it's inspiring, and you actually say to yourself, that person did it, I can as well do it. But what it really is that you're actually seeing that person or hearing that person saying things that they've actually achieved or got obstacles that they've overcome. So through that process and through that time of networking and you're building yourself, just have a goal and a roadmap of how you can actually achieve your goals. What support you need through that. If it means to the other way is actually, you won't believe that. Also LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very good business networking of professionals as well. You would network with people all over the world, and that are in similar way, and it's always career advice with the people of your similar industry or that will help you, and you can ask them questions of how you want things to step where you're feeling stuck. Your mentors, your friends, your family, and there's another thing that I want to say is that you find a lot of times that your friends that are closer to you, they'll say, no, that won't work. That won't work. Yes, we are there to listen, but also you have to hear and tap your inner voice. What is your inner voice saying when somebody says, you can't do it, or that's not going to work? Sometimes that's the challenge that I've always said. If someone says, you will not do it, then I said, well, watch this, because I am going to do this to overcome it. And if somebody, if something has to happen, somebody has to start it. I know you're saying that it cannot happen, but because we're saying that, but there's nowhere it's written that it cannot happen. It's not labeled on me that I cannot do it. You challenge yourself to cross over and make sure that you have a target to get to, and you say to yourself, these are my set goals, and this is where I want to be. So your objective is your roadmap of where you want to be.
I made some really good points there. Earlier on in the first half of the show, you mentioned you need to have a good mentor. I know a few people who have a mentor, and for them it hasn't been a success, where they think they haven't achieved what they wanted to achieve. I think another thing is with having a mentor is what the mentors tell you, you need to implement it. I know a lot of people that mentors give them good ideas, what to do, what steps to take, but they find it hard to implement it. Is that something that you have come across?
Well, yes, that we have all the ideas, and make sure that when you have a mentor, you have at least 2 or 3 mentors that you have. So you've got an idea, they tell you this, that's come through, and you always write it down when they tell you. At that particular time, you would feel that I can't implement it, or when you go back. But there will be a time that you just work up. You've come, when you're meant to do something or something that you got your strength in, it keeps on coming back to you. And that's when you go to the strategies, just to look. Sometimes just go and flip back in your notes that you've written while you were planning to do something. You'll find that there will be a word that will actually open up and say to yourself, also do a research of reading. Listen to inspirational people that have done lots of good things, and they've come from a very the background which is not where they are. They had to climb stairs to get where they are, and today we're saying, they've done well. But remember where they came from. They were just like you. So they had obstacles, they had goals to set, and they had challenges and risks, and they had to overcome that. If they did it, we can as well do it.
When people when you started your business, you must have gone through some failures. How did you overcome them failures? What strength do people need to overcome failures?
First of all, it all starts within finding what you're actually passionate about, discovering yourself, because when those obstacles come along and you haven't tapped and your inner strength or knowing yourself, it's easy to fall back. It's easy to fall back and give up. But if you've set goals and you've written down your plans, you have a mentor, you have to review it and discovering. Just take that moment of discovering who you are. Who am I and what do I want to do? What am I passionate about? We all have a skill somewhere that we actually feel, that's just my interest. Your interest can become a paycheck. So you can actually develop something. It could be gardening. It could be mentoring young children, empowering young children, youth as well. And but how do we start that? It's all about overcoming your obstacles, and the only way to overcome your obstacles is to find love in what you're doing, because that obstacle would come, but when you love something, it will not push you down. Even if it pushes you down, you get up and go because you love what you're doing. Yep. It's when you don't know yourself and then you get pushed down and you get out and say, well, it wasn't meant to be, you move away. Also persistence. And when you get yourself, this is what has made me, the other thing is that whenever I get pushed down, I actually know that there's something better coming. So I also get stronger. If I can actually just cross over there, then I will find the green pasture. But if I pull back, then I'll start going in circles and nothing comes easily. Yes. So no matter what or which way direction you're going to take, you have to know nothing comes easily.
No, you're absolutely spot on there. Nothing comes easily. When you started your business and employed people, how do you choose the right people and who've got the same, and how do you make sure that they know that they should be sharing the same goals, and make sure you tell the employees, this is where I want to be, this is what I'd like to achieve for the business, and I would like you to help me. How do you get them on your side?
Well, the interview process side of things, and you also, when you're doing your business or work or anything that you have to have a philosophy, what you believe in. And when you know what you want to achieve, and when you're talking to those people and interviewing them, you start getting that vibe or answers that is similar to what your values are. Then you're finding yourself to be a match. Sometimes we don't actually find those people, but you can also mentor them if they are able to learn. So those are the things that I ask during recruitment time. Are you adaptable? And how adaptable are you in sharing knowledge and getting knowledge from others? Because I believe, this is the other thing, we keep on learning from each other every day. We never stop learning. So be open-minded, get ideas from the people, even the people that you've employed, value them and make them involved, and value their input, their ideas. And some of the time they'll bring ideas that you were not expecting. But if you close yourself from listening to other people, you lose good ideas and things that you meant to help you through. Even the people that you've employed, they are people to take you up to your goal, to achieve that goal. So we should listen to people around us and then go and sieve and get the best of that, what you've actually has been shared.
No, brilliant advice. I think many business owners don't share or don't like to listen to people who they work with and have their own ideas and try to implement them, and do not listen to the people who work there day in, day out.
Well, the thing about not sharing, sometimes I cannot agree on that, is the only part we don't want to share is not let your business plan.
Yep.
And because you don't want someone else to implement. But this is what I believe. People have done this in the past. We have come up with an idea, and before I implement it, they've taken it over because I shared. Well, it has happened that way. But I've believed that, even though they want to implement, they go nowhere because they have no goal of exactly what I've set to go. They lose track. So what happens here?
Day-to-day running of the business. Of course, never, not to share the business plan. Unfortunately, as you said, you've experienced people who've taken your ideas and implemented them. But day-to-day running of businesses, having the employees have their say of how they think they could improve the processes and systems in the workplace, what they could do better, and taking them advice on board as well for the business owners as well.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we remember when you've got, why are you employing those people? To support you. It's a team.
Yep.
So when they've got ideas, they bring them over, take that on board and see how it can actually support your business. Not everything that they'll say is accurate, but you also go back to your your objective or your goals and see how it aligns with what you actually want to do, and that will help you through. And sometimes when you're feeling stuck, you go to them and say, well, this is the idea I've got. What do you think? They may have a different perception about it, and they'll tell you that different idea. And then during that conversation, something great would come out.
Another point we're going to go to is, as you're done at childcare, from your point of view, what are the biggest mistakes parents do when choosing childcare? What tips can you give in choosing a good provider?
Well, I've always, I'm a parent myself, so when you're looking for a childcare and you have to ensure that you've actually visited the place, take your time to see the place and look at things that the service that they're offering, and look at how they are delivering that service and how are they. Does your child feel comfortable? So when you go out for the first time, you feel yourself to go and how they feel that environment, as well as observe how the people work around with other children. And how is your child been received? How have you been accommodated? How have you felt involved or welcomed? And all those things give us an idea where we'll be in the next 6 months or so when we become part of that. So there's quite a few things that we have to look out for. But the most thing I go with this is your gut instinct after you've actually analyze or evaluate the place and say, is this the place where my child is? How is my child feeling? Is my child feeling comfortable? Also get feedback from your children and also talk to the parents that are already in that utilizing the service, because I believe word of mouth is a very good tool, and they will tell you exactly the service or how they're receiving. So having 1 or 2 or 3 feedback from different families, you would be on a good, clear understanding where you'll be.
Okay. Thank you, Caroline, for that. Now we're going to focus. We're well into the last quarter of the program. We're going to talk a bit about, encouraging, inspiring people, empowering people. If they're thinking about starting a business, if they're a bit reluctant, how they could do that. You talked early in the program about taking risks as well. Taking calculated risks when you want to start a business is quite important as well. You have to be brave.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. We need to bring that as the first thing. I've always said and believe that without the risk, we can never see anything good, because that risk is what takes us out of a comfort zone. So when we take a risk we're talking about risks as financial risks and making a move from home to another country. Those are risks that we're taking. We don't know how it's going to be. So if you've taken that risk already and you're in a different country, you are a strong person to make that risk and make that move, that step. All you need now is just follow through your goals, because you've already taken a big risk. The biggest risk is leaving the area or the country where you were born or your environment where you feel familiar and start afresh. If you can do that, that just shows how strong you are.
Absolutely. And sometimes
you are a strong person.
Yeah. And, people, we as individuals, as human beings, sometimes we put too many barriers in front of us when there are none. We should be able to break down barriers. There is no glass ceiling for anyone. We all have abilities and strengths, but I suppose what we lack is that inspiration. And, you talked about, finding a role model, a mentor, etc. That's quite important as well. Talking to other people who've been running businesses themselves as well. That's quite important. Joining a network as well. That's helpful as well. You talked about all these things as well. People listening to the program today, listening to Caroline Surtees, who left Zambia for a new life in Australia, found success, and when you went to Australia, you obviously wanted to improve yourself, but there must have been a number of things that you could have done, you were thinking about, but you focused on childcare because you said that as an individual, you looked at children, and that's a legacy. That is the biggest investment we as parents would make in terms of in our lives, because if we leave children who are well educated, well adjusted, they've got good qualifications, etc., then they will be a credit to their parents as well. So you went into that because you thought that was something that you could succeed in. Should people look at something that interests them? They have an interest in, because they will be able to focus more in that if they want to start a business in that particular arena?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That works so well, and it is something that you should, everyone we've got in interest, and it's just that we don't realize that that interest that we've got can actually turn into a strength, and that strength can be something that can make an impact in other people's lives. It also becomes something that can actually sustain you and make you become a better person and improve your life while improving other people. So it's double achievement and satisfaction, really. And coming back to the getting your interest into coming as something that you would do for your business or work on, is that there are a lot of things other than just childcare. Could find that you love things like baking, and you've discovered that you can actually start baking and you can start small baking for small parties, and you end up baking for more big weddings and everything and parties and catering for that. You can find that it's actually gardening that I'm actually good at. And you find that you actually start building on that gardening side of things and become better and be creative, do a research in that industry, your interest, how you can improve yourself. You always keep on learning. So and when we look at children and say to yourself, there is so much that we can actually do in the industry of early childhood. There is so much that we can actually develop. Not only providing childcare. Yes, sorry?
Absolutely not. That's quite interesting, because I know that all around the world we're all big on social media, and quite often when I see some of the posts and the two areas that you mentioned about gardening and cakes, some of the friends you see on their Facebook post, they will say that I'm looking for a good cake maker. Can you recommend anyone? I'm looking for a good gardener. Can you recommend anyone? These are the two most frequent things that I see being posted on Facebook.
Absolutely. So we don't realize that there's a shortage of those things, and people are still looking, and there is potential in what we actually look down, and there is something you can actually bring good out of it. And just the other day I was talking about looking for a gardener. We look for a gardener for our place to employ on a monthly and coming to maintain childcare service and stuff. Not only that, we also have people to do like parties and decorations and stuff. So if you're creative, even making what do you call this? Cosmetic, soap and beauty products, candles, scented candles and stuff. There is so many things. Just be creative in your way. What do I like to do? So don't or underestimate any interest that you've got, that it cannot be flourished into something great. It can, once you focus on it.
So really the message from Caroline tonight here on Salaam Radio is the opportunities are there. They're right in front of you. Be inspired. Find some strength from amongst your friends, from your networks, and go for it. That is the message, I suppose.
Yes, absolutely. That's absolutely. You've summarized it very well. Thank you.
It's a question from one of our listeners, and we got about a minute, less than a minute, shall I say. It's a question. If you could talk to one person from history, who would it be and why? I won't give you much time here.
Well, I would, from the person from history that has inspired me.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I would talk about the people that actually my foster parents has inspired me, and she was also raised by other people, and she has achieved. She's a great business person. She's also a teacher as well, and she's got her own industry.
Thank
so
you for that,
person
Caroline.
has inspired
So
me.
we've ended the show. Please join us again. You've been brilliant, Caroline. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.